So it's time at this point, before we get into the teams and the coaches, we always want to take a moment to recognize someone. This is Media Day after all, and we want to recognize media who have been very impactful for the PAC. And I'm very fortunate today that we get to honor one of our own. This is the Dow Carnahan Media Award. For those of you that don't know Dow Carnahan, that's your loss, because he was one of the great individuals that any of us have come in contact with. Dow is a longtime radio legend down here in Westmoreland County, covering not just St. Vincent athletics, but I mean high school athletics. He covered auto racing. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere in Westmoreland County where people didn't know Dow. But as good of a broadcaster as he was an even better person. I mean, he was as genuine and sincere, and just I never heard anybody say a bad word about him, and I never heard him say a bad word about anybody. He was an ambassador, not just for St. Vincent, but for the PAC. And so when he tragically passed away a couple years ago, we named our annual media award after Dow Carnahan. And a bit of, coming full circle, the irony of it today that, Dow, actually, a lot of folks don't know this, was a Westminster College graduate and had a brief run-in with our honoree today over 1 year. His senior year was our honoree's first year at Westminster. I'm going to introduce Jim Daffler here, the Director of Athletics at Westminster, to make the official introduction, but I just want to say this about Dave Barner. I have known Dave for 25 years. And he has never been anything but helpful, supportive. He is, anytime I would come to him, first when I was at Westminster and then in the PAC, Joe, anything I can do to help. We want to promote athletics. We want to promote, college athletics at this level. He is as genuine as they come. And so I'm very pleased that he's here today. To make the official introduction and awarding of the 2019 Dow Carnahan Media Award, I'd like to bring up the Director of Athletics at Westminster College, Jim Daffler.
Each had to put it right here.
Okay.
That works for you, it works for me. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's actually my distinct honor and privilege to introduce Dave Barner, the recipient of the PAC 2019 Dow Carnahan Media Award. If you've had a chance to look at the media releases by the PAC and by Westminster, you've seen the long list of Dave's accomplishments and experiences and all the great things that he has done during his time. And I think that common thread that Joe mentioned, Westminster thread, connecting Dave and the late great Dow Carnahan makes this day even special, even more special for Dave. Dave and I go back 30 years. I've known Dave for 30 years. Back at a time when both of us had darker hair, and I remember always and have treasured the friendship that we've had and the relationship that we've had during my time. I'd like to share one quick story with you that I think speaks to Dave. I think it was in the early 90s, maybe mid-90s. Dave had perhaps gone to our legendary men's basketball coach at that time, Ron Galbraith, and asked, I want to learn more about basketball. I'm doing the play-by-play. I want to get more. I want to get inside the coaches' minds and kind of get more involved in the game and know more about it so I'll be better at doing play-by-play. So Coach Gal somehow convinced Dave that one way to do that would be to become an official at our summer basketball camp. Now, there's nothing more fun and more enjoyable than on a warm or hot and humid June and July night to referee summer camp basketball in a Buzz Riddle gym that's even hotter than it is outside. I know a lot of the coaches that worked that were delighted that Dave was working because that meant that they didn't have to officiate the games. And but Dave did it. And Dave, I don't know whether you were paid for that or whether that was experiential learning, but nevertheless he did it. But at the end of the day, Dave has touched the lives of hundreds of students at Westminster, not only just broadcast communication students. and those in sports broadcasting. These other advisees and people not even in that area have worked at some of the radio and television situations. So he's going to leave a lasting legacy at Westminster upon his, I think, official full-time retirement at the end of this academic year. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce the 2019 PAC Dow Carnahan Media Award winner and my good friend, Dr. David Barner.
You did a good job. Thank you. We'll bring you down this way.
All right.
Can you come in the middle?
Yeah.
Congratulations.